have defeated our enemies. Only I can lead Egypt into a new era of prosperity.
So Mr. Bad Dudo is A-okay though? Deal with him under our laws, huh? Same day, Alexandria Popular District. So there aren't actual district names, it's just this is the more popular one, I don't know.
We are banned from the palace.
I do not begrudge the venom in your eyes, but listen for a moment.
Speak quickly, or you will find yourself at the wrong end of my blade.
Your services are no longer needed. Cleopatra has granted you gold.
The bow is in the way there.
I'm sorry, Aya.
Sorry? We gave her everything. We gave her that damn crown, and she stands next to him.
And where is justice for us? Septimius was supposed to be judged by Rome. Is Caesar protecting the order?
There are compromises to make a queen of Cleopatra.
The man who killed our son is your ally. We're going to do whatever it takes to kill him. You realize?
Caesar blames you for the death of Ptolemy. A pharaoh, a god, I cannot change this.
Be damned what Caesar thinks. It is with Cleopatra that I made the pact.
Give me time, Aya. I will ease this for us. Until then, I beg you, be careful. Not everything is as it seems.
Ah! Traitor.
Things just got a bit complicated then. Not so simple as just going out, taking out our targets.
With all my words, I have nothing to say now.
Cleopatra has been poisoned by Rome, and we by her treachery. We will burn with Egypt.
The order is stronger now. They have Rome.
I will deal with this now.
Hold on. I was wrong. I am responsible. When my boy died, I fought back with rage and anger. But this only made them stronger. We are all different. But we fought together to put Cleopatra on the throne. Now this was a mistake, my friends. But at least it brought us together. Now our enemies are hidden behind crowns, walking in the shadows of kings and queens. Who are the ones that walk in the shadows for the people? We are. Something has come of all of this, and it starts right now. We must continue the fight and defend the free will of the people. And no matter how small, our brotherhood is the only hope. And our kingdom needs no crowns. What we believe in, our values, our creed, will unify us. And I promise that for all the songs of Egypt, I will be the father I was not that day in Siwa. To the Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood!
You were right. I trusted the wrong goddess. There's a question that yet lingers. Septimius. He took Alexander's stuff. Why?
Indeed. He and Flavius had too much interest in Alexander's tomb. We start there.
Something crazy going on in Alexander's tomb? Also, we're starting to get the beginnings of the Origins part of Assassin's Creed Origins here. Oh, sorry.
I will destroy Cleopatra for what she has done.
We must focus on the issue.
Goodness, you're fast.
What is left, Bayek? Tell me one thing left for us.
Oh,
Siwa.
what are you doing there? Oh, do you...
We cannot stop now.
Cut off the ponytail-like thing? I don't know what the proper term for it would be there. Yes, we do indeed have the DLC. Is indeed the case.
Another pile of bodies will prove our point.
Reach a tomb of Alexander the Great. Also, out of curiosity. Okay, yeah. Because you're at the, you're kind of within the inner circle there. Huh.
Come, this way.
Okay.
It has been too long since we were together for longer than a few days.
Has it? It seems but moments.
Aya.
Is it bad that part of me almost wanted to jump onto the statue horse and ride away? Okay, nice. I look forward to it then.
We must hurry.
Yeah, as we've gone through this series of every AC game in order, that includes doing the DLC content. Does not include 100%ing the games. The only ones I've 100%ed in this series were 4 and Rogue, I believe. But at least showing like all the story content plus DLC that there is to showcase at the minimum. This is the way these things go. Do I have my arrows back by the... Sucks to suck. Don't we go that way? Where are you going? I could have gone through these curtains this whole time. Wait, but can't I like not go through these curtains? Oh, and you're just following me. Wait. I could have sworn I couldn't go through these curtains the one time. I could have this whole time? My goodness. Well, oh yeah, I'll just casually step onto that.
The guards will be looking for us here.
Okay, you got here before me. Thought you were up there still, but oh, there's a fight going on here?
Apollodorus.
Screw this pot in particular. Dang it. Once again, I can't break these. Where did you come from? I didn't even see you. Well, that's not great. I wish that there was like an arrow refill thing around here. Oh, crap. But yeah, 100%ed 3 Brotherhood, which was the most tedious, and Black Flag. Huh. I didn't 100% Brotherhood, but I was thinking about it. It didn't seem like it'd be too tedious, so I haven't done 3. If I had to guess, I would have assumed that like 3 would have been like more tedious than Brotherhood. But I guess maybe not. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, cool. Let's get my health back. No arrows, though. Hi. Do you have arrows to give me? You're way easier to take down here. Okay, you probably don't have arrows.
You will live, fool.
Flavius was behind it all. I'm sorry. Flavius killed your son. They were here. They took the orb from me. They've gone to Siwa.
Siwa.
Back, Aya. Your people are in danger. God, now!
Fare thee well, Apollodorus. To the house of Hades.
The lion, Flavius. Ah. It was that Dudo, the aftermath. Oh, things are not so great here. You know, throughout this playthrough, I've tried to balance, like, a good amount of, you know, side content and main story content. But, you know, this segment of the story just seems to be, like, one story mission right into another.
Let us get to the boat.
So, I guess this is what we're doing. So, if I check the thing now, yeah. There is one head honcho Dudo. Oh, and they, I haven't really read the descriptions here before. Strong, imposing, and athletic, Septimius is the model of the Roman legionary. Serving with Pompey during his war against the pirates in 67 BCE, he was then stationed in Alexandria, where he became enamored with his adopted country of Egypt. Now, he and the Gabiniani are tasked with protecting the royal family. And Flavius here, the lion, defined by his ruthless ambition, the proconsul of the province of Cyrenaica, was a brutally efficient soldier with a distinguished military career, which is why Julius Caesar considers him one of the most powerful allies. Shouldn't that say Julius Caesar considers him one of the most powerful allies? Just Caesars considers him the apostrophe S is confusing me. I don't know. However, Flavius has his own agenda and is prepared to go to any lengths to cement his influence in Rome. Well, not if we stop him from doing that. Was this the path that we took at, like, the very beginning of the game into Siwa? Except now, you know, things are not so great here.
Must be Flavius's.
Do I have my arrows? Nope. Of course I don't. Yeah, excuse me, I'm just gonna go around. What I think I'm gonna do. Did I hear the sound of an arrow being fired? Someone has arrows? I see projectiles being thrown and stuff. Ooh. Well, this is like Breath of the Wild. You can just pick up arrows. I know I can pick them up if they go into my shield, but, you know. Kind of lacking some arrows and stuff. Thank goodness my ultra stab is charged up for me to stab the nobody around me. Unless they're chasing me. Yeah, they're not chasing me. I don't really know where Aya went. Maybe she's still, fighting them. Can I just follow the, yeah, I should follow the road here and go around. So I should, oh, I can go up this way. That works. Hi, are you important? What? The camera showed me you for a reason. Okay, Ubisoft. Cool. I'm confused. Maybe there was something that was supposed to happen there that didn't happen for me. I'm quite confused. Maybe I should not have done this to go in here in hindsight. I'm realizing that's a bad idea. I probably could have snuck in. Loot. Oh, I got 3 doubloons from that. Okay. We go this way. Oh, hi. No. Wait. Unless I can just, like... Will this take out your full health? Nope. Imagine. We'll have been able to kill the other guy with the weapon throw as well. But yeah. So garbage is Zelda Breath of the Wild. Huge old school Zelda fan. So it was a big learning curve. Is that the same for me? I was able to get the relative hang of it, like, pretty soon. And not too bad. Like, back when it first released. But I wasn't, like, an expert at it by any means and would have some slight struggles sometimes. And then when I eventually did the playthrough on this channel, because the game released before I became a content creator, I started doing, like, live streaming and YouTube stuff in the beginning of 2018, so about a year afterwards. When I eventually covered Breath of the Wild on this channel, I decided to really learn the game. So, nowadays, Breath of the Wild might just be, like, the video game that I have, like, the most raw game knowledge of. Like, I can crash that game in several ways. I can break it in numerous ways. That is a very different video game when you play it glitched rather than a standard. Oh, it's one of these thingamabobs, like the first game and showing the various pieces of Eden, then, right? Is what's going on here. A very different beast, then.
Who created this? The gods themselves. Here's the story of mankind. Bayek. Bayek.
It is Hepzibah. Mycenae. Your life is done here in the desert dust. They took my closest friend.
We must rush to stop Flavius.
No! We cannot leave him here. He deserves a proper farewell.
Deal with Flavius and then come back. What makes the most sense, right?
Go ahead, Bayek. I'm with you.
Hepzibah knew nothing of
So much better graphics than with the, you know, the AC1 version of this.
Ripped out his heart as a message to me. It was he who killed Khemu.
So we are approaching the climax here, it sounds like, right? Yeah, that's really nice looking there. I don't really feel, you know, too much sorrow here, because, you know, he was just a character in, like, the very beginning of the game, then we don't see him for, like, the entire duration of the rest of the game, and then he's here dead, so I don't think that this is able to have too much emotional impact for the player, at least in my experience, but, yeah, that was cool there. But, yeah, Mr. Bad Dudo's sending a message there. Carry Hepzibah's body out of the vault. Will do. But yeah, Breath of the Wild is a very, very fun game to break in half. And it's a very different game to break in half. Like, it was a very different experience than I first had playing the game. I made it my goal to try and beat as many shrines as I could in unconventional ways. Even if that meant that I needed to take longer than just solving the puzzle normally. If I could clip through walls and get to the end or launch myself, I'd do it.
I saw what happened. It was horrible. The Roman leaders entered the temple vault.
Septimius and Flavius.
The objects they carried opened it as if by a god's hand. Hepzibah tried to stop them, but they rendered him helpless. They entered the vault. A blue fire seemed to emerge. I fled to no avail. The entire village lost its reason and fell to the ground like dogs.
They have destroyed Siwa.
They must die!
You must put an end to this.
Bayek, Aya. You have the prayers of the entire village to support you.
Let us bring Hepzibah to his rest. Then, we will seek justice.
Let the embalmers come. We pray Anubis accept this ornament in place of his heart, such that Hepzibah may walk free in the field of reeds.
Hepzibah.
You wanted to pull out a torch. Well, no, I'm using controller and stuff here. Speak to Rabia, the final weighing. Okay, we're going to be judged here.
Hepzibah, old friend.
If it's the final weighing. Or maybe it's the final weighing for him there. That's what's going on here rather than
Hepzibah would have wanted you to have
us here.
the weapon he prized above all others.
Are we gonna go kill Mr. Dudo? But yeah, fun fact about Hepzibah's sword. Ooh. Fun fact about the I guess we'll get rid of our glowy Final Fantasy sword thingamabob. That's what we can do. Yeah, let's do the cannon thingamabob. How about? That's what we can do. I can't attack here. Fun fact about those launches described there. You don't actually need to freeze the target in some cases. Getting the launch known as a bullet time bounce is triggered when you like shield off of an enemy, you shield surf off of an enemy, and it puts them into tumble. Some enemies are weak enough that it'll just by default put them into tumble. Like namely, just red bokoblins will by default go into tumble. Some tougher enemies, like higher level bokoblins and like moblins and stuff like that, will not by default go into tumble, which requires the freezing, which will put any enemy into tumble if you know,
Some villagers captured a Roman
or
soldier
ragdoll,
and
whatever
questioned him.
term.
Flavius is headed for Syria.
Or you know.
And Septimius for Alexandria.
I will kill Flavius.
I have a lot of silly,
There's a farm at the border
a lot of
Syria.
useless game
Someone
knowledge
there
of
may
Breath
have
of the
seen
Wild.
Flavius pass through. As for me, I will cut out the heart of Septimius.
I feel as though wherever we go, tragedy follows. Perhaps we should come to terms.
It is hard. I don't want to let go, but
Every time I think of you, I think of Hemu, and everything we lost.
me too. So for now, we kill.
Farewell, Aya.
Okay. Let's kill the baddies. And then she pulls out a torch. Flavius should pass by a farm in Krenaika. That's how that's pronounced.
Animals. Using the necropolis as a den.
I just want to interact there. Do I have my arrows? Sure don't. Ah, man. Wow, really? Didn't take out the cobwebs to get into there? Wacky. Well, yes, we're going over there, so maybe, we are going to be judged. Or we're gonna, you know, have that Dudo be judged, because we're gonna kill him. You know? Will be the case. But yeah, that was a fun game to break in half playing through. Any Assassin's Creed game we play on this channel, we, you know, break in half just by playing the game without even trying. Breath of the Wild, we have to try to break it, but Ubisoft games will just break on their own. It's amazing to see. But I think my favorite part of the Breath of the Wild playthrough was facing the final boss of Ganon, while Link's spine, like his torso, was just bent backwards 90 degrees with that weird glitch. Oh, man. Such a fun game to break into. It's so silly. My goodness. And how you activate that glitch is by, like, really weird means. You put a, what's the name of the, big dudos there? Why am I blanking on this? But the big one-eyed guys. Bone version of those, the Stahl versions. There. You use magnesis to put a chest under it so that you can move it around, and you shove it in a waterfall until it goes invisible. And then from there, the physics of the world start breaking. And it breaks Link's, like, character rotation. And once you get far enough, the world itself will go back to normal, but Link's rotation will continue to be broken until you pick up an item, you mount a horse, and there might be some other conditions, but I know that there's those two. Which means I had to be really careful in the final battle to not pick up any of the weapons around the map, or else it would fix Link's rotation for some weird reason. Yeah. Awakening, Past, Ocarina of Time, Majora's, Skyward Sword, Twilight, love them all. Breath of the Wild is the humbling one. It's definitely a very, very different type of game compared to the rest. Take this! Why am I not breaking you? Come on! Done. Right? Done! Get up here. Okay, weird. Neat. So there's that. I do look forward to playing Tears of the Kingdom in, what, like a few months' time here? It's May that it comes out, right? I believe. If I recall. Can I just go straight this way off the beaten trail? Oh yeah, this is fine. Not too extreme of a slope. Nice if I could just fast travel over there, but alas. No such luck. And there's nothing to hit up along the way. It looks like this is probably going to be the best path to take.
Will not stop until he reaches Rome.
Yeah, which is why I'm going to go and stop him, right? I would imagine. Yeah, it's probably fair game to go this way here, right? Probably. I should have stuck by the road. Whoa. Yeah, I'll just keep on trekking around this way then. Hey Jess, you doing okay? Yeah, for you it's the exact opposite. Can't play the previous one except for Breath of the Wild. Because you're like, how are we supposed to do that? Probably. Yeah, there are definitely a lot of, you know, puzzles in some of the older games where Breath of the Wild rewards creativity. There's oftentimes so many different ways that you can go about, you know, handling something. Whereas the older games are like, you gotta do this one specific thing, which might be super obvious to the developers what you gotta do. But, you know, if you don't guess that you have to do the one niche specific thing, then sucks to suck. Usually I don't run into that problem too much in the older Zelda titles. Usually I'm able to reason out what I'm able to do. But there are definitely some cases where I'm just stumped and I'm like, how would I solve this without the internet, you know? There have definitely been some of those types of games for me. In the Zelda series. Can I chain assassinate? Nope. But yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a very nice aspect of that game. There's definitely some things that I don't like Breath of the Wild for, like it's a non-existent music, or the fact that you just hear about a story that already happened rather than experiencing a story happening there. At least they made the prequel later. At least they made Age of Calamity later, so you finally got to actually experience that story, so I can't be too upset about that anymore. But, you know, I do have some minor issues with the gameplay, but for the most part, the gameplay really is something amazing, you know? Really is pretty darn cool. I have my qualms with Breath of the Wild, but I gotta give it that, you know, as the case. Questless in Breath of the Wild helps so much. Yeah, the way that it handles that is definitely pretty nice. We have respect for linear games in a world that is pushing so many open world games. Yeah, for sure. Like, this is actually something that I'm gonna delve into in the Scarlet and Violet video essay, the upcoming Pokemon one, where, this Pokemon game went open world. But, you know, an action game like Elden Ring or Zelda or something like that, or even Assassin's Creed here, where the game, your outcome is determined primarily by your skill first, and then only things like your level and equipment second. Those kinds of things apply more naturally to open world. But something like Pokemon that's level-based, Pokemon is a naturally linear system with its level-based, you know, turn-based system there that's determined primarily by your team and levels first, and then only your skills second. You know, you can't just go to the final gym with, like, your level 5 starter and be able to win. It's not possible. Whereas in something like Elden Ring, if you go to some super tough boss right off the get-go, it'll be really hard, but it's still possible. So, you know, open world games and action-based games are a lot more applicable than something like Pokemon. And yet, they did it anyway. Not because it naturally works for Pokemon, but because open world is the new hip trending thing that there have been several pushes for open world in the industry before. Like, there have been notable games in the industry that have created industry-wide pushes for, you know, open world games. But right now, I feel like we're still in, like, the lingering effects of Breath of the Wild. Yeah, like, it really was, like, such a major example that, you know, really influenced the industry. And there's so many people nowadays that look at that as, like, a key example of, like, open world good, linearity bad. No, they both have their pros and cons. You know, one isn't necessarily better than the other, you know? And yeah, that is the case. It's also a label that has, like, a very broad definition, where if a game has, like, a big world you can explore, they'll call themselves open world, you know? Scarlet and Violet truly is open world. You actually can do things in whatever order. But it's like, why? It's a level-based system. If you go on, take on the final gym, you can't beat it. What's the point? It can be fun doing some things out of order, but then when you go back and do all the things that you skip past, then you're going to be so dang over-leveled that it becomes boring. That's the experience that I had there. What the heck is going on here?
Please, I am not your enemy.
I am sorry. It is just, he was such a gentle soul. Once had me treat a wounded dog he had caught in a snare. Why would he do this?
I have seen this before, in Siwa. I'm looking for the soul eater responsible, Flavius.
The proconsul?
Flavius, he pronounces it?
Of rancid
Cool way to pronounce
shit
it.
murdered my son, raised my village, and now marches through your land with the light of Amun-Ra. Come. Let us search the farm. Look for survivors. I am Bayako Siwa.
Praxila, of this land gone mad.
What? Typical Ubisoft game, am I right?
Just poor C1 farmers.
They stood in this
man.
path.
So, okay, chatting over there. But yeah, I feel like ever since Breath of the Wild, there have been so many players that naturally are like, oh, open world is inherently better than linear. Open world is the good thing, linearity is the bad thing. If you do linearity, you're naturally like a worse off game, you know? So, I feel like, you know, combining the labels of Pokemon and open world, and you get the most successful Nintendo launch ever, as Scarlet and Violet turned out to be, even though the actual state of the game was so awful that Nintendo had to apologize over it and offer refunds to anyone that wanted refunds. Just like situations like Cyberpunk, as we were talking about before, like, I'm sure it was still an insane financial success that reaffirms to them, yep, do more of this. But yeah, when you slap a label like open world onto a game, that is naturally gonna have, like, this kind of halo of quality and, you know, freedom to the game that people associate with, you know, quality and stuff like that, you know? Yeah, I'd like, this game's pretty neat as well. With this, games like this, you know, are kind of interesting in, like, whether they're classified as open world or not. I would kind of classify it as open world. Same with things like, you know, Black Flag, where it's like, the story that they tell is linear. The story events you still have to do in order. Though you have, like, some, you know, free reign for, like, the order that you can do some things. But you can go around and do basically whatever at whatever point. You know, apart from, like, the main story stuff. You know, even if the story isn't as open-ended as something like Breath of the Wild, though it had to sacrifice telling a story in the now for the sake of doing that. This has been a fun open-world game to me, you know? I've enjoyed this. But I do realize, you know, I do acknowledge that there are some things that linear is going to be able to do better, like telling a story, for example, because stories are naturally linear. First thing A happens, then B, then C. You can't open a book, flip to a random page, read it, and then flip to another random page and have it make sense, you know? That's not how stories work. So I do acknowledge that there are some advantages to linearity. But, hi. Am I gone? Oh, no, we're going through. Okay.
Nanette, are you alright? What happened here?
There's pros and cons of both.
Red cloaks and that milk soup with the lion's head. Took anyone who could work. Farmhands, my son Kade, everyone. Then he came. Dark eyes hooded as a raven. I wanted to throw stones to shoo him off. Something golden, bright in his claws. Held it up, crowing as they fell before him. Some by their own hands, others by those dearest to them. Against nature, everyone crying, screaming, running, dying.
How did you
No one sees Brunenet, an old woman's husk with clouded eyes. But I saw them. Didn't cry out. Bit my tongue till I choked on the blood.
The men who did this, we will find them.
Better hurry, girl. Raven flew north to the home of the Huntress. Overheard Red Cloaks squawking. Bring Kade back to me.
I will try. Flavius also robbed me of my boy.
Let us bring Nenet to my cart.
What?
Follow Flavius.
Weird. What? Are you kidding me? I just came out of a cutscene. Dude. Ah. Well, I just finished Requiem and it was incredibly linear. It gave you an extensive options how to navigate the world, but still to the same end. Great game, it deserves its flowers. Wow. I think I've heard the name before. Is my thing still flaming? Wow. That's neat there. But I don't know anything about it myself, so I don't have anything I'm able to offer on the matter, unfortunately. Nice! I wasn't sure if I'd be able to get anyone with that there. I wish I had arrows! Oh, I got arrows! Wow. I could barely see anything. Not my target, but, okay. Having arrows is nice. You know? My store...